This is ADV Tress, and we're headed to Tumey Hills. And I know what you're asking yourself. Well, where is Tumey Hills? Tumey Hills is off of Pinoche Road, kind of headed towards the New Indra mine. It's a 4x4 area, a non-OHV area, which is actually kind of nice. And there's tons of trails. I only managed to do one small loop, but there's tons of ways to go explore. There's some trails that aren't on Gaia that look like established trails, which I'm sure you'll be fine on. And there might actually be a way to get to Tumey Hills from 5. It does go through some private land, but you know, I'm sure if you did a search on Google Earth, you could see if there was a gate or not. And this is an area I knew very little about. I still know a little about it, but it's definitely worth a day trip or an overnight camp trip just to check out the trail. Now there's limited information on Tumey Hills. I'm not exactly sure why. I think it's because it's used primarily as a gun range for a lot of people. And even when I went out there were people shooting guns, not so much in the outback, the farther back you go, but there is. And it is 100% BLM. You can camp, I think up to 14 days and explore all the trails to your heart's delight. The other thing about Tumey Hills is it has a limited window when it's open. And I think it's like from either October or November through April, and then it's closed. There's also no OHV allowed in this park. I did see a couple people, dirt biking, but pretty much there's no OHVs, so that's just something to consider as well. Now when I went, it was absolutely beautiful. The road is a little rough in places. I didn't do all the trails. Like I said, I only kind of did one loop. This was really just a reconnoiter trip. Before it closed, I could check out, hey, is this a place I'd like to go back to? And the answer is undoubtedly 100% yes, right? It's scenic, the roly-poly hills are beautiful, the roads are really, really fun to drive, and there's a lot of them, so I'm sure there's super technical aspects in Tumey Hill that, hey, if you want to, flex your rig or, attempt to use your recovery gear, I'm sure there's plenty of opportunity to do that out there. And when I was there, I did see some people, kind of at the entrance of the park, and they had their gun setups all set up for shooting. But the further back you go, you probably are going to be limited on who you run into. And like I said, there's some really beautiful places for camping and for large groups as well. Not to mention if you're into target shooting and that kind of thing. And again, you can legally hunt within Tumey Hills during certain times of the year. So there's plenty of opportunity for you to do that as well. And it's one of those things people sometimes are like, oh, why do you go out? Why do you go explore these kind of places? And honestly, I saw this in a show a long time ago, and the answer was, if you need to ask me that question, then if I give you the answer, you're not going to understand it, right? If you have to ask somebody, hey, why do you need to, go exploring or go in wild places, kind of disconnect from, mainstream, commercialism, tra-la-la-la-la. If you're asking me why I'm doing that, then you don't, I'm going to tell you, if I don't do it, I lose a part of myself. It's when I come back to these wild places, these open places, and all you can hear is the wind and the grass and the trees, and that is, that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going to work every day. That, meeting my responsibilities and everything else. And that's one of the reasons I started exploring these little places, that are within an hour or two, from my house, right? Because I can get out, I can explore and enjoy these vast open public lands with a vehicle that, is my pride and joy. So this is ADV Tress. I hope to see you down the trail, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao.